Whew. Alright. Hey everyone. You're probably wondering where I am currently. I am being hunted down by the police for breaking into Marbo's Void, which is why I'm in the alleyway. I legit just broke a window. Windows are replaceable. So, before I start the video, I've actually got some real talk for you all first. So, here goes. Okay, everybody. I know it's been quite a while since I've uploaded a video, but I've got some reasons. First off, I got a job at a bar and grill near my house, which has been a real time consumer for me. I've been working at my schoolwork, and ever since the second COVID shutdown here, it's been getting nothing but worse. And since 2020 it's near its end, this will be the worst year for my YouTube channel. Now that that's out of the way, let's get started with the video. As always, please like the video and subscribe to this channel. We're really close to 200 subscribers, which is absolutely amazing, and I hope to reach that goal by the end of 2020 as a great leap forward to 2021. If we do end up making this goal, I plan to have you guys select a few different ideas on what I should do for my 200 sub special. Please, enjoy the review and comment down below what game you would like me to review next, even a whole series if wanted. Anyways, enough chit chat, let's get this review started. Super Mario Galaxy, a prize winner for Nintendo and a great record holder, has a lot in store for those first playing and even replaying with its edition of the Super Mario 3D All-Stars Collection. This game has high hype, hopes, and history, so let's get started with development history. Super Mario Galaxy was a prime game in 2007, being the third 3D game in the Super Mario franchise and for the wildly popular Nintendo Wii. During the year of 2004 was when the game had started development. In fact, the development began after the release of Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. The main concept of the game was used from spherical platforms of Super Mario 128, which was a GameCube tech demo shown at Nintendo Space World in the year 2000. During the making of the game, developers and game designers had a lot more freedom in the making of the game, more than other Super Mario games because of the outer space setting. The soundtrack of the game was made by a symphony orchestra, along with Mahito Yokota and Koji Kondo, for the first time ever in a Super Mario series. Super Mario Galaxy was a commercial success, with the addition of being hailed as one of the greatest games of all time. In fact, at the time of its closure in 2019, Super Mario Galaxy was the highest rated game of all time on reviewing, aggregating site game rankings, and won several awards from the gaming community. Being loved by many critics for its visuals, gravity mechanics, soundtrack, and setting itself, the game itself got so wildly popular that it later spawned a sequel in the year of 2010, Super Mario Galaxy 2. It has ever since been a big success by Nintendo and has become part of the Super Mario 3D All-Stars collection in the year of 2020. Fun fact, even though the game has a 3D spherical platform, almost 65% of the base game is flat plane. If the game had been all spherical and 3D, the game probably would have taken longer and would have been more expensive to complete. Another fun fact is that this, along with the Super Mario Sunshine and 64, don't have the return of the Koopling brothers, plus one sister, in it for its third 3D game. In my opinion, game designers did a great job, so good that in the Guinness World Records book of 2013, the Gamers Edition, Super Mario Galaxy got 47th place for best graphics in the top 50 graphics section. It is said, in quote, "Bright colorful characters and bizarre distant stars populate the universe, leaving players to expect the unexpected," in another dazzlingly imaginative Mario title. And in the 2014 Gamers Edition book, Super Mario Galaxy came first place in the most critically acclaimed games ever with a whopping 97.64% of the world. Not just for the Wii, but for any platform, ever, which is absolutely insane. Either way, major props to Nintendo. After every 100 years, a comet passes the Mushroom Kingdom in the night skies. 1 year, the comet was so large that it filled the night sky, shooting down thousands of countless shooting stars. The Toads had brought the stars to the castle, which became a great power star. This time of year should have been the happiest for the citizens of the Mushroom Kingdom. That was the night of the Star Festival, held every 100 years to celebrate. Our story begins with the night of the Star Festival as Mario gets a letter from Peach saying, in quote, "Dear Mario, I'll be waiting for you at the castle on the night of the Star Festival. There's something I'd like to give you. From Peach." On his way to the castle, Mario comes across many citizens of the Mushroom Kingdom, from Toad to Toad again. How many of these fuckers are there? Anywho, on his way, chaos ensues with the coming of Bowser himself, looking to form a galaxy of his own. During this time, Bowser attaches his ship to Peach's castle to take to outer space. But their heroic attempt at saving Princess Peach, it fails by Kamek the Wizard as he blasts Mario away into the void of space. On your way through your adventure, you find many level types such as water exploration, puzzle sections, and bee levels. My personal favorite. With these new levels come new powers, bosses, and of course, challenges throughout these new solar systems. The new bosses are especially unique in my opinion because of their differences from the old bosses in old games. Hashtag Koopa Gang. Such bosses contain a baby piranha plant with some height gain, a Beyblade, and a persistent turtle that keeps coming back. By the way, fuck you, Bowser. Some of the levels are easy, some levels are hard, but some are definitely challenging. But other than that, the courses aren't too special in my opinion. Anywho, after the foiling of Bowser's plans, Rosalina tells Mario about the rebirth of stars, and at the end explains that the stars won't always come back the same way as before. And as a portal opens up and sucks in Peach, Mario, and the rest of the Mushroom Folk, Luma says one final goodbye to Mario, and the transportation to the new Mushroom Kingdom begins. As the castle has a new look than before, along with the scenery change, and including previous friends and foes, come together in the Mushroom Kingdom, as the beginning of the new galaxy becomes a reality. During the game, you can join Rosalina's star reading sessions, where she clearly tells about herself. One day, many years ago, a young girl had wandered upon a rusted ship, holding a star child. The girl had asked the star's name, and if it was okay. The star's name was Luma, and she had been waiting for her mama to come home for her on a comet, but hasn't shown up for a few days. The little girl told Luma she would stay and wait with her, and promised it. Nightfall came, and the little girl had borrowed her father's telescope to look for the comet, but none was seen for days, weeks, and even years. The little girl feared she would grow old if they kept looking, but then she had an idea. They should go to look for her instead. The girl and Luma had fixed up the rusty ship and set out on their voyage. Nothing but asteroids were seen for many days. Not even a single planet was in sight. The little girl had figured she should have packed more if the voyage would have taken this long. She had packed any essentials that they would have needed before leaving. As the little girl realized they had no water, Luma cracked up in laughter as the little girl pouted. As long as Luma had her star bits, she would be fine, and had offered the little girl some. They both laughed, and the little girl had taken the offer. They began to keep searching, while collecting the star bits, almost falling a few times, but managed. The star bits had tasted like honey. A beam of light was shining through the windows of the ship. Thinking it was the morning sun, the little girl had peered to look, only to realize that it was a large turquoise comet coming towards her. She had woken up Luma, telling her they needed to get to the comet. The pair landed on the comet and began to search for Luma's mother. While doing so, they realized the comet was made of ice. Her mother was nowhere to be seen. While in the search, the little girl gave up as Luma found star bits on the comet. The comet may have been icy, but it was warm. They had thought water might be here as well, so they decided to stay a while longer. While riding the comet, they continued to search for Luma's mother. One night, the girl dreamed about her own mother, asking where she was, and where she was going. Her mother replied, not turning around, telling the girl she isn't going anywhere, and that she will always be there for her, and with her. like a sun in the day. The little girl had doubts as a wave of sadness crossed her face, asking what if the rain covers the sun or the moon. Her mother thought for a moment. She would turn into a star and wait for her tears to dry. Confused, Luma had asked the girl why she had star bits in her eyes, but the girl had told her it was a thing called tears. She tells Luma she is sad that she can't see her mother again. Luma begins to cry. Many comets are passed, but none held Luma's mother. Luma cried, but the little girl did not. She squeezed her tight, saying she would take care of her. As time went by, they began to expand their home on the icy comet. As their home was built, the little girl planning for the rest, it had turned out that not only star bits could be found here, but incredible materials and furniture. After the home was finished, Luma was concerned with the amount of space that they had for just the two of them. And even though there was this much room, something seemed missing. Late that night, the girl had fallen asleep with her stuffed bunny aboard the ship. One day, as the little girl was sitting, sipping tea, she spotted a yellow planet that she's never seen before. Emerging from the planet came another star, similar to Luma. As the girl asked if they knew each other, they seemed uneasy. Turns out the girl was the star's mother, as they danced around her. She couldn't help but laugh. Many little star people came from the planet, all of them different colors. They kept saying the same thing, Mama. After all the Lumas were named, they were sent to their new home. After seeing the 100th comet, the girl had reminded herself about her father's telescope. Peeking through the telescope, she saw a small blue dot that was smaller than a star bit, but looked super close, but so far. She had twisted the scope and focused on a small mass of land with flowers and a tree. When she was little, she remembered when her father would take her stargazing on that hill, how her brother and her would sled down it. She would have picnics on windy days with her mother on that hill. She remembered these and made her realize she wanted to go home, as she burst into tears with the Lumas not knowing what to do. At this point, she was very upset, screaming she wanted to go home and sit on the hill and see her mom. She knew she couldn't see her mom at all, because she knows her mother is no longer alive and is sleeping beneath the tree. As a way to make the girl feel better, Luma tried her best to comfort her. With her attempt, Luma had an idea. Soon enough, Luma had become a comet, to carry the girl on her adventure with the other stars. The girl was joyful and confused. She didn't believe it was possible. The red Luma had explained that this was their destiny, to become something else, like a planet, a comet, or a star. As the stars came together, they hugged her, saying, "No more crying, Mama." From that point on, she never cried, as the comet set forth to her home. The Lumas and the girl had embraced their new home, as a Luma was being born. Every 100 years, she had promised to return to her home to see the hill and the tree again. Henceforth, Mario's galactic adventure begins. Now clearly the little girl in the story is Rosalina, but it's whatever. Alright, now that the story's out of the way, let's get on with the controls and the abilities. Besides the basic jumping and ground pound, Mario comes with a twirl ability as soon as you meet Luma. This twirl ability allows the player to attack without having to jump on the enemy. The spin attack can knock over enemies, and when knocked over, they can be kicked, causing them to turn into star bits, which can either be thrown by the remote or fed to a blue or pink Lumas. Doing this can cause these little characters to become helpful obstacles, such as launch stars and even small planet spots. Hell, even new galaxies for Mario's exploration. You could also get coins from the stages too, which can give you extra lives. That's about it. For Mario's power-ups, we have, as always, the traditional Fire Flower and Extra Life mushrooms, along with a few others, like the Spring Mushroom, Extra Heart Star Shroom, the Ice Flower, the Boo Shroom, and finally the Bee Shroom. The Extra Life Heart Shroom is exactly what it sounds like. Instead of the usual 3 slots, it gives you an extra 3. And even if you are missing any of the original 3, they are immediately given back, along with the new 3 heart slots, making it easier for the player to traverse through the stages. The Ice Flower is only given for the player for a few moments, but it allows the player to freeze enemies and even walk on water. But he ain't no Jesus. Okay, seriously, what the fuck is wrong with me? This ability is one of the most unneeded powers, in my opinion, in the game, because it's not usually needed. But then again, the power usage isn't all long-lasting either, which Kinda sucks, but in reality, Mario would have been way too overpowered had they lasted with unlimited time. The next power is the Spring Mushroom. This mushroom turns Mario's body into a silver spring, causing Mario to jump ridiculously high up in the air. 10 out of 10 best high jump. The next power is the Boo Shroom, which, you guessed it, turns you into a Boo. This power is used to blend in with the Boos and allow you to fade through certain obstacles. But when it comes to saving Luigi, you're gonna make him piss his pants. The final mushroom power is, my personal favorite, the Bee Shroom. The Bee Shroom allows you to blend in with bees, hover for a few seconds, climb honeycombs, and fly off of flowers. There are some disadvantages, however. First off, you can be attacked by bugs, and second, if you fall into water, you'll lose your power. Most of the levels themselves have their own themes, but to me, they reoccur a little too much. In the end, the powers end up being great choices for the levels, but I wish there was a little more. I do admit, the level designs are nice, but the way the levels play don't make up for the lack of originality for me. However, I do give the developers major props for making these levels work. Some of the boss fights I've seen in these levels are some of the greatest I've ever seen in any Mario game, even if they are a bit easy. Honestly, this game is a hit or miss for me, a very little amount of times. I do have to admit, the base game, bosses, levels, and story are all great and tie into each other very well. But for me, the minor details are killing me for the point. The power stars being the power sources for bosses and big Bowser machines, great. The bosses are new, great. The fact that star bits are technically the new coins, not so great. What is the point of having coins if you could just use large amounts of star bits to get lives? The same goes for the purple coin levels. You practically just play the levels again for coins that do nothing much for you. But I do say, however, the good highly outweighs the bad in this case. I'm not gonna lie to you, Rosalina's storytime was a tearjerker. And she has boobs. Okay, seriously, what the fuck is wrong with me? I do, however, like that not all of the game is spherical platforming, because it would get too old. Spicing up the levels with a few being ground-based platforming was a great idea for some of the levels. Another thing to mention is the ending. I absolutely loved it. The new galaxy in the end gives the universe more opportunities for new things, hence Super Mario Galaxy 2. This game has a lot of potential, and it shows. No wonder it's been the top Nintendo game for years upon years. So I personally give this game a solid ranking of A- variety. The game is great, soundtrack great, visuals great, but what got me most with this game was the solid nostalgia. Oh shit. Yep, that's the cops. Gotta go, boys. Remember to subscribe and like for more videos, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a great Christmas break, guys.